was expecting you to say hello back. Let's give it another whirl. Hello. There we go. Much better. Achoo. You're supposed to say bless you. Achoo. Thank you? Sorry, I have a cold. No, it's not COVID. Settle down, people. Welcome everyone. Who is excited to be here? Make some noise. Are you kidding me? That was abysmal. It's like you've never interacted with a sentient life form before. Okay, let's try this instead. Make a noise. Really, any noise. Okay, that's gross. Real mature, Chris. So we only have a few minutes together, so let's have some fun. Does anyone have an inanimate flying disc, also known as a frisbee? No? This is awkward. Okay, if you have a phone, grab it and turn on your flashlight. Or if you're that weird kid who always brings a flashlight to church, this is your moment. I'm going to list off a few things. If you agree, raise your light in the air for all to see. Let's try it. Ready? Raise your light if you like waffles. Great. Not really sure why that wasn't 100% participation. Waffles are incredible. Lego my ego. Seriously, who doesn't like waffles? Okay, let's try this again. Raise your light if you made a New Year's resolution. Raise your light if you didn't make a New Year's resolution. Raise your light if you already failed your New Year's resolution. Wow. Okay, it hasn't even been that long. Don't give up. I mean, don't give up again. You already gave up. Raise your light if you're excited about a new year full of new possibilities. Like it's possible that the lockdown will continue and we'll descend into a dystopian police state and all have to get chips implanted in us and work in mines harvesting valuable minerals used to make smartphones for a rich upper class of cyborgs. Wow, okay, that took a turn. Let's lighten it up a bit. Get it? Lighten it up. Because we're raising our lights to answer questions? Ahem. Anyways, raise your light if you like pizza more than tacos. Raise your light if you like tacos more than pizza. Raise your light if you play a sport. Raise your light if you think watching Netflix is a sport. Coke? Or Pepsi? Facebook? Or Instagram? Joke's on you, it's the same thing now. Wave your light if you like TikTok. Okay, some of you immediately did a dance. We get it, you've got moves. Lightning round. What type of Cheetos are the best? Original. Puffy. Anything flamin' hot. Are hint of lime chips amazing? Or from the pits of hell? Which video game console is the best? Xbox. PS5. Okay, I hear you. Nintendo Switch. Okay. PC. Who do you love more? Mom or dad? Mom. Dad. Neither. Whoa, so much angst in your heart, young one. Will this be the year you find love? Yes? No. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I'm in love with a man. His name is Jesus. Will you grow more this year in your faith than last year? The first few months of a new year are critical to start something new or begin a new habit that will last far beyond a resolution. So open up your Bible this year. Genesis is awesome. Exodus is pretty cool. Leviticus takes a turn. Skip it. Actually, skip a few if you have to, but the point is keep going. You can do it. It'll change this year and change your heart. Both are good things. I hope you have an awesome year. Hey, it can't be worse than this last one. May your year be filled with a little less Zoom, a lot more flamin' hot Cheetos, plenty of video games and waffles. Lots of waffles. And maybe a little spiritual growth, too. Some new habits. And a deeper heart for Jesus. From all of us at Apple and the Citadel Research Project of the FBI who is listening to every conversation you have. We hope you have a happy new year. Achoo.
Hello students, welcome to Wednesday Night Live. I am Darlene and I am here to give you guys your announcements for the week. First announcement is social media. We have 2 social media platforms that you can look up. We have an Instagram, which is at Sunrise Students CA, and also a YouTube channel, which is at Sunrise Students CA. On Instagram, we post Mean Mondays, Wednesday reminders, and we'll be posting daily devos once a week on our story. Make sure you follow us and turn on those notifications so that you get notified every single time that we post. On YouTube, we go live every Wednesday night at 6:15, just like tonight. We encourage you to invite all of your friends by sharing the link to them. We challenge you right now to share the link to at least 3 of your friends so that they can watch Wednesday night with you. Our next announcement is small groups. We are kicking off small groups again soon, so be on the lookout for those. If you want to be a part of a small group, go to sunrisechurch.org/students. Being in a small group is a lot of fun because you get to interact with students your age and you get to dive deeper into what we talked about on Wednesday. I know that we go on life group on Tuesday nights. It's been a lot of fun. I have the high school girls and we have a great time. We get to fellowship, we get to talk about our week, and we also get to dive a little bit deeper into the word. So definitely join a small group. Our final announcement is to make sure that you're on the lookout for Among Us Digital Hangout. We'll be playing Among Us on February 7th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will be posting the code on our Instagram story. This is going to be so much fun. Make sure that you tell your friends and invite them. All right, that's all the announcements we have for today. Bye, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is week 2 of goals, where we're talking about, you guessed it, setting and achieving goals. But not just any goals, but God-sized goals. You see, we set goals all the time, whether it be to wake up a little bit early for school or even turning in our homework by 7 p.m. or making a sports team. You see, but after you set a goal, have you ever just felt stuck? Like not just stuck, but stuck? I mean, every time I think of setting a goal and getting stuck, I think of that movie Ice Age where there's that squirrel that's chasing after the acorn and he goes to grab it between this chunk of ice and his nose gets stuck right in the perfect spot to where he's hanging there, he's just kind of dangling, and he's there for a good chunk of the movie. But when we set goals and we're trying to persevere and achieve them, sometimes it's easy to hit that hump and to feel stuck. And I always think back to this book called The Little Prince. I don't know if you guys have ever read it, but in The Little Prince, there's this really awesome quote where the author says, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." And you see this author, Antoine, he seems to know a few things about goals because he was super accomplished. I mean, he was a writer, he was a poet, he was a journalist, and he was even a pilot. He flew airplanes. And I mean, do you guys think that he was able to achieve that just because he was talented, just because he was smart, just because he was lucky? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, he knew the power of a well-executed plan? I mean, while some of us may be more naturally talented than others in certain areas, we're all capable of accomplishing big things. Whether it's learning a new skill or changing the world even, God gives us all the ability to solve problems and to make things happen. But to accomplish anything, we usually need a plan. So what's a goal that wouldn't be possible without a plan? I mean, it might be a spiritual goal, like spending time with God more regularly, or a mental goal, like learning something new, or a physical goal, like trying a new activity or getting stronger or faster, or even a relational goal, like being a better friend or being kinder to your family. I mean, these are all good goals, but without a plan, they're just wishful thinking. So what about you guys? Why don't you type in the chat, some of your most plan-worthy goals, some of those big dreams that you have in store for 2021 that you just are hoping that you can achieve by the end of the year. You see, when I was younger, one of the biggest goals that I remember is being a freshman in high school and just being in love with band and music. I remember I used to play clarinet, and going in that freshman year, I was like a little fish in a big pond. And I set a goal at the beginning of that year. And I said I was going to be first chair clarinet before the end of my freshman year. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with band, the way that it works is first chair is like the top dog, and they're the ones who get all the solos and they get to play all the cool stuff, and that's just is the one that you want to be. And I set this goal, and every single day I remember I would practice my scales, I would practice the music, and I would even learn other parts just to make sure that I was secure in what we were playing. And I would ace all of my tests, and I would do everything that needed to be done. And I remember towards the end of that year, we took a test, a placement test, and it was announced that I actually was first chair clarinet as a freshman. And it was the greatest feeling ever. Not just knowing that I was first chair, but knowing that all of that hard work ended up paying off in the end. And I don't tell you this story so that I can brag about how good I was at clarinet or how good I am at achieving my goals, but I tell you that because I truly believe that if I can do it, then you can do it. And if you're not quite convinced, maybe this next part of Nehemiah's story will help convince you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Michael. Hey, students. Glad you guys could be here with us tonight as we continue to study in our series by the name of Goals. So before we jump into it, I just want to recap for you a little bit from last week. So we are looking at the Old Testament book of Nehemiah in our series called Goals. And Nehemiah was written by a guy named Nehemiah. And about 140 years before this book was written, the Jewish people were conquered by an enemy army. And that army destroyed the city of Jerusalem altogether. They burned the temple where the Jewish people would worship the Lord, as well as they destroyed the outer walls of the city. And they actually took a lot of the people within the city and they put them into exile, or captivity, as another word that exile means. But God promised that one day the Jewish people would return to the city. And so when the book of Nehemiah begins, some of God's people had already begun returning to the city of Jerusalem. They were looking for ways that they could rebuild what they had lost when they were taken over 140 years prior. But it wasn't very long into the process, and it wasn't going very well, to be honest with you. So Nehemiah, who was very passionate about seeing Jerusalem restored, he saw some problems. Although some of God's people were living in Jerusalem, the city walls were still very much destroyed. They're very much in shambles. And so what does that mean? Okay, well, one, there's a practical problem in the fact that without the walls protecting the city, God's people would be very vulnerable to another attack, like they had experienced many years prior. The other problem is actually a spiritual problem, because leaving the walls in shambles dishonored God, but rebuilding them would be a sign that their people were ready to return to God and were ready and choosing to be obedient to Him once again. So inspired by his love for his people as well as his God, Nehemiah set a very big God-sized goal, and that was to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem so that God's people would be protected, but more importantly, so that God would be honored. So Nehemiah had a goal, but what we're going to look at here tonight is, did he have a plan? Because a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? But a goal with a plan can get some things achieved. So we know Nehemiah had a goal, but did he have a plan? All right. So if you remember from last week, the first thing that Nehemiah did was he spent time in prayer, and he prayed and he fasted for months. And you guys got your Bibles. I want to look at chapter 1, verses 4 and verse 11. So when he had heard that people had already gone back to Jerusalem, and he got a report on how they were doing, and he was told that they weren't doing well, look at what it says in verse 4. It says, "When I heard this, I sat down and wept. In fact, for days I mourned, fasted, and prayed to the God of heaven." Okay? But then look how he ends that prayer. Look at verse 11. He says this, O Lord, please hear my prayer. Listen to the prayers of those of us who delight in honoring you. Please grant me success today by making the king favorable to me. Put it into his heart to be kind to me. In those days, I was the king's cupbearer. So now there's three things to notice in these verses, right? Number one is this. Nehemiah didn't ask for step-by-step instructions. He knew that God wanted him to take lead of the charge to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. And that was enough for Nehemiah. That was absolutely enough. He knew God wanted him to do this. That's all he needed. He didn't just sit back and relax and say, okay, God, I know you want me to do this, but now I'm going to wait for you to tell me how to do it. He didn't just sit there and wait for step-by-step instructions. He started planning right away because he knew the goal that God had put in his heart. And by the time he reached the end of his prayer in verse 11, Nehemiah was already working on this plan. He asked God to help him be successful in what he was about to attempt. What did he say? He said, I was a cupbearer to the king. See, this is actually very helpful information for us to know, but I think it has another purpose as well. Okay, why? Because it shows us that Nehemiah was making note of the resources God had already given to him or put in his place currently. As a cupbearer to the king, Nehemiah had access and influence with the most powerful person in the entire kingdom. So to sum all that up, what does that mean? It means this, that Nehemiah planned while he prayed. Nehemiah planned while he prayed. So that's where we're going to pick up things in chapter 2 of Nehemiah. And we're going to start by reading verses 1 through 9. Read along with me. Early the following spring, in the month of Nisan, during the 20th year of King Artaxerxes' reign, I was serving the king his wine. I had never before appeared sad in his presence, so the king asked me, why are you looking so sad? You don't look sick to me. You must be deeply troubled. Then I was terrified, but I replied, long live the king. How can I not be sad? For the city where my ancestors are buried are in ruins, and the gates have been destroyed by fire. The king asked, well, how can I help you? With a prayer to the God of heaven, I replied, if it pleases the king, and if you are pleased with me, your servant, send me to Judah to rebuild the city where my ancestors are buried. The king, with the queen sitting beside him, asked, how long will you be gone? When will you return? After I told him how long I would be gone, the king agreed to my request. I also said to the king, if it please the king, let me have letters addressed to the governors of the province west of the Euphrates River, instructing them to let me travel safely through the territories on my way to Judah. And please give me a letter addressed to Asaph, the manager of the king's forest, instructing him to give me timber. I will need it to make the beams for the gates of the temple fortress, for the city walls, and for the house for myself. And the king granted these requests because the gracious hand of God was on me. When I came to the governors of the provinces west of the Euphrates River, I delivered the king's letter to them. The king, I should add, had sent along army officers and horsemen to protect me. So I'm curious if you guys would be honest with me. Go ahead and type it in the chat here. I know maybe some of you might be thinking, why are we reading all of these boring details? If that's you, put it in the chat. Be honest. All right, you're not going to hurt my feelings. And if that's you, I promise things are going to get better, but I just need you to stick with me just for a few moments, okay? Because in these verses, we discover that Nehemiah hadn't just been praying and casually planning, he'd been preparing in pretty great detail. How do we know that? Well, because of this. The king asked Nehemiah why he looked so sad. Nehemiah had an answer already ready for him. The king asked Nehemiah what he wanted, and Nehemiah already had a request prepared for him. The king wanted to know how long Nehemiah's journey would take, and Nehemiah already had a time frame prepared for him. And since the king seemed pretty open to all these ideas, Nehemiah also had a wish list of requests prepared for the king. See, throughout the process, Nehemiah continued to talk to God in prayer, but he didn't just wait for God to do all the work. He used the strategic mind that God had gave him to plan and prepare while he waited for God to open up the right opportunity. Because Nehemiah had prepared in detail for the opportunity that he would get to speak with the king, when God arranged the perfect moment, Nehemiah was fully prepared to take advantage of that situation. So to sum all that up, what do we say? We say this: Nehemiah prepared while he planned. Nehemiah prepared while he planned. Nehemiah already had a plan in place, but now it was time to recruit others to help him make it happen. But first, he would need to figure out how to deal with the people who definitely didn't want to help him. All right. As we go through things and as God calls us to do, we're going to have to plan, we're going to have to prepare, and we're going to actually have to work with people who don't want to help us. We're going to have to deal with people who don't want to help us. And Nehemiah was in the same boat. So let's continue reading chapter 2. We're going to look at verses 10 through 20. It says this. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Amorite official heard of my arrival, they were very displeased that someone had come to me to help the people of Israel. So I arrived in Jerusalem 3 days later. I slipped out during the night, taking only a few others with me. I had not told anyone about the plans God had put in my heart for Jerusalem. We took no pack animals with us except the donkey I was riding. After dark, I went out through the valley gate, past the jackal's well, and over to the dung gate to inspect the broken walls of the burned gates. Then I went to the fountain gate and to the king's pool. My donkey couldn't get through the rubble. So, though it was still dark, I went up to the Kidron Valley, instead inspecting the wall before I turned back and entered again at the valley gate. The city officials did not know I had been out there or what I had been doing, for I had not yet said anything to anyone about my plans. I had not yet spoken to the Jewish leaders, the priests, the nobles, the officials, or anyone else in the administration. But now I said to them, "You know very well what trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire. Let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem and end this disgrace." Then I told them about how gracious the hand of God had been on me and about my conversation with the king. They replied at once, "Yes, let's rebuild the wall." So they began the good work. But when Sanballat, Tobiah, and Gershom the Arab heard of our plan, they scoffed contemptuously. "What are you doing? Are you rebelling against the king?" they asked. I replied, "The God of heaven will help us succeed. We, his servants, will start rebuilding this wall, but you have no share, legal right, or historic claim in Jerusalem." Nehemiah gained a couple of enemies during this process. When you're working on a God-sized goal, that's always going to happen, or most of the time, I should say. That usually happens. But once again, Nehemiah was ready for it. He was prepared for it. See, he wasn't naive. He expected people to oppose him. He knew how to hold his tongue and keep his plans secret from the people who opposed him. Okay? He was wise about who he trusted with the information that he had. He figured out a way to bypass the people who opposed him so that he could recruit the right people who shared the vision of his God-sized goal. Okay? Another way of saying that is this: he surrounded himself with the right people to accomplish the goal that he had. So to sum it all up again, Nehemiah planned for opposition. God gave Nehemiah a very huge task, okay? And that task was to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, but God also gave Nehemiah everything he needed to make it happen. Nehemiah had access to God through prayer. He had his God-given talents, abilities, and passions. He had the resources, opportunities, and connections God had given him, and he had other people. Although Nehemiah's God-sized goal probably scared and overwhelmed him, which it should have, Nehemiah didn't give up or wait around for someone else to handle it. Instead, what did he do? He made a plan. He made a plan. And although Nehemiah's goal was extraordinary, he understood the tools he would need to accomplish that goal were ordinary, and they were already available to him. God gives us extraordinary goals, but he gives us the ordinary tools and resources in order to handle it. Nehemiah took the vision that God had given him and the skills that God had given him and the resources God had given him, and he got to work. Nehemiah trusted that accomplishing this God-sized goal was exactly what he was made to do. And so for you and for I, just like Nehemiah, we are all the same. You and I are designed for God-sized goals too. So what does that look like? How do we accomplish that? How do we put that into practice? Well, in just a few minutes, I'm going to pass it over to my friend, Pastor Eric with a K, and he's going to break it down for us. But before we get there, before we do that, you know what time it is and I know what time it is. So let's say it all together. It's game time!
All right, welcome back to another game, my friends. Welcome back. We're so excited. We are going to play a game today called 5 Stars, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But before we get started into the game, I want to introduce our team of players today. And here's what I want you to tell us. I want you to tell us your name, where you are streaming from, what town you're in right now, and one goal you have for 2021.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm from Banning, and one goal I have for 2020 is to read like 50 books.
Ooh.
Wow. My name is Michael. I'm in San Bernardino, California, and my goal this year is to finish my homework before like the hour before it's due. Because I always wait till like 11:58 to turn stuff in, and I just want to be better, you know?
That's good.
Hi, my name is Maya. I'm streaming from Chino at my house, and a goal for 2021 that I have is to finish off my junior year strong.
My name is Dylan. I'm streaming from Banning, California, and a goal for 2021 for me is to memorize 5 Bible verses.
Nice. It's a great goal. Great goals, guys. Love it. All right. And I'm Eric with a K, your host, and I am streaming from La Quinta. And one of my goals this year is to start running again. My wife and I were talking about signing up for this Conqueror thing, which is like a virtual race. You just kind of keep track on the app, and once you finish it all, you get your shirt, you get a medal, and all that stuff. So that is, I haven't run since I moved to Southern California over 6 years ago. All right, so the game is called 5 Stars. These are, I'm going to show you a review and 3 potential things that were sold on Amazon that got essentially 5 stars or close to 5 stars. All right, and then what you'll do is you'll have option 1, option 2, and option 3. When I say go, I want you to put up the amount of fingers that you think that correlate with the answer. All right, so first question or first item. There we go. Mike says, wife repellent, 5 stars. Wife was constantly kissing me while I was playing Xbox. Now I no longer have this issue. It repels her nicely. Is it 1, Axe body spray, 2, bacon scented lip balm, or 3, pickled flavored breath mints? All right, so you have to choose. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, and you get 1,000 points for each one you get right. The answer, my friends, and you got to keep track of your own score. The answer, my friends, is bacon flavored lip balm. Look at that stuff. Wow. Who doesn't love bacon? Apparently that guy's wife. All right. Jessica says, hands down the best thing I've ever given her. I got these for my sister for Christmas, and they were by far, hands down, the best thing I've ever given her. She loved them immediately. They're very comfortable and 100% amazing. Now I have to order some for myself. Were they blobfish slippers, 2 Elf on a Shelf tube socks, or 3 crocodile eating human 2-piece blanket set? I don't even know what is going on right now. All right, 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is the blobfish slippers. There they are. That is so bizarre. All right, by the way, in the chat, make sure you're telling us. Don't put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat because we don't know, because it kind of goes through. Put in the answer that you think it is. All right, so here we go. 5-star review. Okay. Dippy Doxy says, I used to make chocolates. The salted caramel was delicious and easy to remove from mold so that even the tails and small paws came out perfectly. Is it a Bobcat chocolate mold, polar bear cookie cutter, or Dachshund ice cream or ice cube tray? 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is the Dachshund ice cream. Why do I keep saying Korean? Ice cube tray. Am I saying that? Dachshund. I said it wrong. It's a Dachshund. I don't know what the heck I'm saying now. The Dachshund. All right, there it is. That's so weird. All right. Fran says, we used this for our middle school's living literature competition, and it worked really well. My only issue is that it's a little large and that it had to be fluffed out for full effect. I understand that it's meant for adult males, but it was the best option. Additionally, we opted to make some of the holes larger for breathability reasons. 1, realistic lion mask. 2, Mark Twain wig. 3, Frida Kahlo unibrow. 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is the realistic lion mask. So interesting. All right. Next question. Sherry says, my little male dog knew exactly what to do. Very pleased with the results. 1, high-pitched training whistle. 2, human leg toy. 3, pop-up pee pad. Taking that leg toy and just tearing it apart. 1, 2, 3. The answer is the pop-up pee pad. I don't even know why is the picture not showing up? Picture is not showing up for some reason. All right. There it is. Oh, it's a fire hydrant.
What?
So bizarre. All right. Toby E says, awesome. Okay. Is it the 1, Diana Ross singing toilet paper spindle, 2, giant inflatable pool burrito, or 3, roast beef sandwich bath soak? 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is the roast beef sandwich bath soak. Bon appetit. Oh, that's so gross. Wow. All right, Adam. He only gave 1 star. I was not happy with this product because it was already expired when it was sent to me and so hard and crunchy that I could not chew them with my teeth. I was really hoping it would have been better. Was it 1, Harry Potter Jello slugs, 2, chocolate covered scorpion, or 3, cod skin dog treats? 1, 2, 3, show. Chocolate covered scorpion. I literally have this in my room and I can't remember. What? Oh, hold that thought. I think I have it. Is it right here? Oh no. Oh. Look at that. Dessert scorpion. Not desert scorpion, but dessert scorpion. Lots of nutritious facts about that. That is really funny. I also have chocolate covered larva. And ant wafers.
Are you okay, sir?
Oh, I'm so hungry right now. Ooh, and here, sour cream and onion crickets. Delicious. All right, let's go to the next one. R. Williams, 'twas life-changing. I will forever be altered by ordering this. Thank you to whoever made this. Was it 1, squirrel finger puppets, 2, minion-shaped nettle pot, 3, 3D pug toilet sticker? 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is 1, the squirrel finger puppet. There it is. All right, here's the last question. Adina says, I purchased this as a gift for a sushi lover. It looks very cute. Perfect present. Would buy it again. 1, 12-piece set of cat figurines dressed as sushi. 2, seaweed body scrub. Or 3, sushi socks in a box. Sushi box. 1, 2, 3, show. The answer is sushi socks in a sushi box. It is very difficult to say. That is the game right there. All right. Maddie, how many points did you have? Do you remember?
I have 4,000.
4,000. Michael?
I had 5,000.
5,000. Maya?
I have 3,000.
And Dylan?
I had 5,000.
All right. Here's what's great about this game. The points don't really matter. It's just for fun. But tonight, at the end of the service, one of you is going to win a prize. We'll put all of your names up in the magic box, and then one of you is going to win a prize. And if Michael wins, he gets to choose one of you to win. That's what the power of being a leader is all about. Well, thanks for playing, and we're going to kick it back to me. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? So, okay, we need to get back to the message part. I want to wrap things up from what Michael and Eric talked about today. So I want you to think about one goal that you've achieved in life. Any goal. Just think about a goal that you've had and that you've actually accomplished. You finished that goal. All right, you got it? Okay, good. Now, I don't know how you achieved your goal, but here's what I do know. I know that you're able to do it because God designed you to do big things. You have a brain, right? Your mind, your brain, you can use that to strategize. There are people who can help you. You've been given skills and abilities and passions and also resources, things, all of that to help you accomplish your goals, right? So if you're not sure what you think about God right now, that's okay. Or maybe you're not sure if you have any sort of God-sized goals. That's okay too. What I want to share with you, I believe, can still help you achieve the goals that you have. Okay, so if your goals right now are more about kind of like, what do you want to do to achieve for yourself? I really think the story of Nehemiah can teach you something important about wisdom that's going to help you to achieve your goals, no matter what they are. But I want to challenge you with something. I want to challenge you to think bigger than just your personal goals, because I believe God designed you to do big things. Even bigger things than getting into college or making the soccer team, even though nobody's making any teams right now because that's just life here in California and the world. But I want you to chase after your goals, but don't settle for goals that just benefit you. We talked about last week, try asking God what else you might be designed to do, because God has big plans for you. They're God-sized goals, and that's what we've been talking about all day today. And if you think you have a God-sized goal that's kind of been growing in your heart, that's awesome. Maybe last week you started thinking about this and you haven't stopped thinking about it ever since. Either way, I want to look back at what Eric talked about from Nehemiah, his story, and I want to think about 4 things that I see from Nehemiah's story that I believe can help us with our God-sized goal and actually make that a reality. Okay, so we talk about bricks and building, and when you want to make a building, you take bricks. That's one way to do it, right? But each brick lays on top of another, so it creates this ability to have this whole building when you take all of those bricks together. So just like Nehemiah was designed by God, you and I are designed by God with everything that we need to accomplish the goals that God puts in our hearts. First of all, you've got you, all right? We have all sorts of times where we feel insecure and like, I'm not adequate enough to do this, or I don't have the abilities, or, all that stuff. We can get negative about ourselves, but God designed you with purpose and intention. Like, he really thought. You look at Psalm 139, you want to see how intentional God was in designing you. When God gives you a God-sized goal, think about what do I bring to the table? What can I do? How can I contribute? Here's the thing. I talked about this just a moment ago. You've been given a mind that you can think, you can strategize, you can plan. You have skills and experience, and there's interest that God has put in you, passions that God has put in you. Okay, so that's you. The next brick in the building is others. All right, just like Nehemiah discovered, most God-sized goals can't be achieved alone. Some can, but most can't. There's a lot we can do on our own, but if we really want to make a lasting change, we're probably going to need some other people. And when God gives you this God-sized goal, ask this question: who can I work with? You have friends, you have family, right? You have trusted adults, teachers, maybe your small group leader, coaches, mentors, whatever. There's books out there that have stuff that you can learn from, videos. I mean, the internet is just filled with stuff, right? You may even have access to someone who's influential that can help you make something a reality, whether it's in person or online, right? So you've got others, and then you've got things, right? Nehemiah needed extra supplies. He needed transportation, he needed wood, he needed letters, he needed the king's blessing. You're probably going to need some things to help you accomplish your God-sized goal. So when God gives you that kind of goal, ask this question: what do I need to get it done? It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe it's money, or maybe it's some sort of supply, or an audience, or a location, or a platform, opportunity, whatever. So you got to ask, what can you contribute? Who can I bring along? What do I need? And finally, but definitely not least, God. Most importantly, you've got God. Whether your goal is an everyday you-sized goal or it's this once-in-a-lifetime huge God-sized goal, God's with you, just like he was with Nehemiah. And like Nehemiah, God probably is going to give you the step-by-step plan. I'm going to send you an email or a text message with all of the things. That's likely not going to happen, right? And that's okay. You don't need one, because you've already got everything you need. Just like Nehemiah, you are designed for God-sized goals. You've got the bricks. So the question is, what are you going to build? What are you going to build? Now, you may be watching tonight and going, all of these things, they sound great, but I have never even thought about God, much less God-sized goals. And I want to give you an opportunity, because maybe there's something stirring inside of you that going, I want this stuff, but maybe you've never said yes to Jesus. Here's the thing: God sent his one and only Son, who was fully God, became fully human to the earth in that package of Jesus as a baby, and he grew up and he came to show us the way. The Bible says that no one can earn their way to heaven. We all fall short of God's glorious standard. Like, here's a standard up here. We cannot get there on our own. Everybody has sinned and falls short, but he's given us the answer, and that's through Jesus. And I just want to tell you that it's really clear that all you need to do is confess your sin. The Bible says if you confess your sin, he'll forgive you. That's a promise. He makes you new. And then invite him to be part of your life. Invite Jesus to be part of your life. Just say, I want to pray a prayer. And if you've never prayed a prayer like this, I want to invite you to pray with me. Jesus, thank you so much for what you've done for me. The Bible says that God loved me so much, the rest of the world so much, that he gave his one and only Son, and that's you, Jesus. and you came to show me the way. Because the Bible says if I confess my sin, I'm telling you right now, I know I've done things wrong. And the Bible also says when that happens, you forgive me. So I want to receive your forgiveness. I want to invite you into my life. I want to invite you to give me God-sized goals to work in me, but just come in right now. Thank you that I don't have to have everything figured out, but I just invite you to be part of my life today. Thank you for this. Amen. Now, if you just prayed that prayer for the first time ever, would you be bold enough? Would you be brave enough to just put in the chat, I prayed that for the first time tonight? Drop it into the chat. Let us know. That'd be so awesome. We want to be praying for you. We want to come alongside you. We want to encourage you and help you in this journey. So let us know. Just type in the chat, I prayed with you tonight, Eric. If that was the first time you ever did that. Because we want to pray with you. And if you want help along the journey, we've got small groups. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Actually, I'm going to send it to myself from here for the next portion where I've got some announcements and we got the giveaways. So I'm going to kick it back to me on the flip side of this.
All right. Well, man, I love this. I love this journey through Nehemiah that we're having right now, and this is some really good stuff. Like, obviously, very timely, right, for this season that we're in, and for obviously stepping into the new year, and you know, they talk about, the studies show that the toughest day in your goals. The low sound is low. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't want to make it. I don't want to blast you guys. Is that better? They talk about the hardest day in your goals is day 2. Day 2, because a lot of people give up after they try it once. And you heard me talk about in the game wanting to do this Conqueror virtual race, which you guys are welcome to check it out. Just Google Conqueror virtual race. You pay some money. There's different price ranges. And you can, they have like videos that you can watch. Like, you can go anywhere in the world. There's a whole bunch of different places in the world and all this stuff. Anyhow, just super cool to be thinking about goals. You know, obviously running is just a personal goal. But what are the God-sized goals in your life? And if you made a decision to say yes to Jesus for the first time tonight, we'd love for you to let us know. But we're going to do a giveaway in just a minute, but I do have a few announcements. Now, many of you are on our YouTube channel right now watching, and it's just youtube.com/sunrisestudentca. And it's been kind of fun chatting with a few people. I just tonight met, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, Ania, in our Instagram page. And we got some others in our YouTube, but we post on Instagram. We've got Meme Mondays, and on Tuesdays we do a devotional in our story that's connected to the Sunday main service message. So we want to encourage you to get plugged in and going to our Sunday services online right now. We're online at the moment. And then but anyhow, so that happens on Tuesday, and then obviously we're here on Wednesday, and there's a bunch of stories that happen, games and whatnot, silly songs with Eric, and snacks with Yuli, and so anyhow, that's on Instagram. And what else we got? We want to encourage you to pray about volunteering. There's lots of places that you can volunteer, lots of places you can plug in. And one place you can plug in is our weekend services on YouTube. Many of you who are right here on YouTube right now, I got a little video I want to share with you. Let's check this out, and I'll come back and talk about it afterwards.
Hey guys, Pastor Josh here, and I'm really excited to share with you guys a serving opportunity for all of you, our students. This is the opportunity. It is serving in the comment section on YouTube. A lot of you guys are watching your service right now on YouTube, and we are looking for a team of students who will help us greet people on YouTube, engage in the comments, interact with folks who comment along. And if that's something you're interested in doing, if you want to be part of our YouTube team, all you need to do is you need to sign up with the link that is provided, and we will get in contact with you. We'll train you. We'll give you everything you need to know and do in order to be successful on this team. All you need is obviously a YouTube account, which a lot of you guys have, a phone or a mobile device or a computer that you can connect with. This is a great opportunity to serve our church. It's easy. It's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in being part of this team, please click the link and sign up to be part of our YouTube team. Thank you. God bless.
So if that's something that interests you, I believe Yuli's going to put the link in the chat right now. I don't see it in there just yet, but I think she's going to put that in there into the chat. We would love to see you guys jump in and serve as one of our hosts on YouTube. It's super simple. Just an opportunity for you to connect. And I'm a huge believer that we should all be finding places to serve. So this is a pretty cool place for you to get plugged into. You heard Darlene earlier talk about an Among Us event that we're going to do February 7th. Put together this fun little video. Let's take a look at this. So we hope you will join us and invite your friends. What we'll be doing is we'll be putting the code in our Instagram stories, as well as we know some of you aren't on Instagram, but we'll also be putting it into, some of you have signed up to get text messages from our chat. That for our daily Devos a Dose that we were doing. We're gonna shift some that over to some announcement stuff. We'll put that up on the screen next week so you can get make sure you get alerted whenever we do different things like that, and we'll put the codes in there as well. So among us, Eric Wade, who had the terrible background, not a background like this, buddy. Anyhow, that is February 7th. Great opportunity for you to invite some friends, have some fun at church, in a church experience. So I know a lot of you have been playing a ton, and we want to do this. We'll have a bunch of rooms available, because I know you can only play 10 per room, so we'll have several rooms available for that. So that'll be February 7th. It's Sunday, and that is 7 to 8 p.m. So, Landon, you don't have to play if you don't like it. That's okay. That's the great part about the internet. Click. So, loving seeing everybody on here. I see Landon, I see Annalena and Leela and Kylie and Maddie and Ari. It says Ariana, but I saw somebody call her Ari. Landon Vesper, Kaylee, Alicia. Man, it's just so many people. I just wanted just a few shout outs there. and just super excited to have you all here. Now, now it's time for our giveaways. So the way we do this, every Monday at 4 o'clock, we pre-record our game, and that was a game you saw tonight. That was a pretty fun game. If you want to play in the game in the future, you just put into the chat that you want to play. Let us know that you want to play, and we will get you the link and the information to get plugged into our game next Monday at 4 o'clock. So we play that game every Monday at 4 o'clock. We record it, and then we show it on Wednesday night right here in our service. Now, the cool thing is, one of those people that played is going to win. So let's pop over to our magic box. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Let's see. Sidekick. Why is it doing that? Show sidekick. That is bizarre. Why are you not seeing? Okay, hang on just a second. While I'm figuring out that, oh, there we go. It's on the wrong page. Huh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna bring it back over here. This is the fun of live stuff, right? So let's see if I can get it back up here again. Boom. Zoom. App Windows. Why? Oh why? Oh why are you doing this? This is bizarre. I am really sorry, guys. This was working earlier, and now suddenly it's like this tiny little box. Anyhow, but the great thing is it works. Oh, David Bumpus trashing Apple. Come in and run it on OBS for me, buddy. All right. We're going to get the names of students running across here. You see Dylan, Maddie, and Maya. You see Michael on there. If Michael wins, then he gets to pick somebody. But let's see who's going to win this. 1, 2, 3, stop. Maya is our winner. Congratulations, Maya. Maya, you are going to win a prize. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in and we're going to bring up the all of our, yeah, there we go. Again, no idea why that's sitting so oddly in the corner. But we're going to find out what Maya's going to win. All right, Maya, let's see what it is. You're going to see a whole bunch of things there on the screen. Let's see. Here's how we do this. If you're just joining us for the first time, you don't know how this works. On 3, I'm going to have you in all caps say spin that wheel. So get that ready. I'm going to give you a second to spin that wheel into your chat, and then you can press it when I say go or when I yell spin that wheel. But Maya, you're going to win one of these prizes on this wheel. All right, on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Spin that wheel. Oh, Maya, you win a smart light. You win a smart light, and if I'm not mistaken, that's basically you can plug in a light bulb into like your lamp in your room, and then you can use your app to change the colors and to change the brightness and turn it on and off. And super cool. You won a smart light. Congratulations, Maya. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we are going to pick the next winner. And the way we do this is we take everybody that has entered in whatever whatever platform you are on, and we're adding everybody in here. And some of you, here's what's great about doing this live. Some of you just jumped in right towards the end, even jumping at the very end. I've got your names in here. And we're just going to see. Let's get all of your names rolling here. Okay. So I'm going to take this. Oh, there's a lot of trash talk on Apple right now. Alicia Barber, congratulations. Oh, I forgot to give this for you. I'm also dropping this one for Maya. Air horn there. So, now we're going to see, Alicia, what did you win? Let's take a look at our wheel here. There's our wheel. Now, Alicia, you see all of those things in there. Alicia, what would you like? Josh is saying Apple is the best. Bumpus is a hater, but I love that guy regardless. Exactly. I love him regardless of his hatefulness towards Apple. Doesn't matter. Okay, so back to Alicia. You're about to win something on this wheel, Alicia, and it looks like we're dropping things off, which means we get Eric Wade. We gotta build onto this thing. So I think maybe I'll make a trip. Man, I haven't been out of my house hardly at all in 2 weeks, but I might pop over to the store and pick up a few more things to get them in there. So, Alicia, she's hoping for the Narwhal headphones. Is it Narwhal? Yeah, Narwhal headphones. All right. Well, let's do spin that wheel on count of 3. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Spin that wheel. Let's see what it is. Oh, you win a little mini pool table with a little cue stick and all that stuff. That's super fun. Congratulations, Alicia. You've won the mini pool table, which means the Narwhal headphones are still up for grabs next week. Brian jumping in on the bandwagon of the Androids. That's fine. But congratulations, Alicia and Maya. Awesome. I'm so excited that you guys won tonight. That is super fun. And we're just thrilled that you guys join us on Wednesday nights, whether this is your first time or it's been a long time or you come every single week. We love that you are part of this right here. So invite your friends to join us next week. You're not going to want to miss next week, guys. It's going to be great. We've got we're stepping into the week 3 with looking at Nehemiah and looking at our goals and how we can actually accomplish those goals. We're going to get practical. We've got our creative team is creating some great stuff that you see during our pre-service. If you want to be part of that creative team, you want to learn how to edit video and put all of that stuff together that you see during the pre-service, let us know. Let us know if you want to do that. If you want to be in next week's game, you got like 30 seconds to let us know in the chat. If you want to be part of next week's game, just put it in the chat. Say, yes, I want to play next week's game. We'd love for you to be part of that. And then some of you are jumping into small groups right after this. If you're not in a small group, as Darlene said at the beginning of the service, go to sunrisechurch.org/students and click on the small group button, the tab inside of there. sunrisechurch.org/students. Get yourself into a small group. We've got some incredible leaders, and you'll be loved by those leaders and by peers who are part of that. And I know a bunch of you are meeting tonight. Some of you meet tomorrow, and many of you meet on Sunday afternoons. But would love to have you be part of our small groups. That's all I got for tonight. You guys, love you. We're so glad you're here. God bless you. And we will catch you then next time we are together.